Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Twisted Koi on a Saturday night live, you guess. What are we doing out there, cupcakes? On what has been a gloomy, overcast day. Evening, Craig. How are we doing? And before we go any further, Perky cannot make it this evening because he realised at about 3:30, 4:45, that it was his son's daughter's birthday and they'd arranged to go out for a meal and totally forgotten. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get Perky on with us next week. But we got Craig, aka the Stagster, with me. I'm hoping that our friend from Canada is going to listen and say hello as well at some point this evening. So, how's things for you, guys, and Craig?
Yeah, not bad. As I say, I'm stuck in the filter shed at the minute because I'm just topping the pond back up because I've had to drain it down quite a lot because of I needed to do a big water change. It got high nitrite,
Yeah,
so I've switched the feeder off and I've drained quite a lot of water off. To be fair, but I have PP'd the pond recently, as you know. I PP'd it and I've done an aquaflavin, so that must have knocked my filters back, I would have thought.
I did email it to you, Ken, and then I'll put it in the comments. There we go. It should be in the comments there, Ken. So you've been having fun and games. I've been having fun and games.
Yeah.
Tom, Frankenstein Pond is empty still as of this moment. Been a rather busy day today with shopping with Ma and then come back and had a subscriber pop in on the way. Pete Smith popped in and he had actually been down to New Forest to pick up his ground show with a difference fry. He was on his way to London, so he said, "Are you in? Can I pop in?" Of course you can, mate. So yeah, he came in and had a cup of tea and that, and Rocket Boy finally turned up with his UV for me, so I was absolutely buzzing through it. I can get that job knocked out, and then I can get on with the Frankenstein thing. Well, I went to Wix, I got the bits, come back, set the UV up on the one line that I've got enough pipe left to put anything, just the last space at all. I chopped that, I put the UV in place, gave it 10-15 minutes, even 10, gave it 10-15 minutes for the glue and everything to go off, fired the system up, and it was an Evolution Actor one. Where you've got that centre sleeve next into those two bottom fittings that go that way. Yeah, it was pissing out of there like a fucking fountain. So yeah, I've had to cut that out, cut in some pipe work just so I can get my back drain running again. So yeah, it's been a good day. Yeah, like I say, Frankenstein is still empty and will stay empty until I get a new liner in there. So yeah. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
I'm better. I'm better now. I can sit and relax for a little while.
Good.
So for those of you out there that don't know Ken's channel is called My Toy Obsession, and he is over in breezy, bright Canada. That's where in Ontario, isn't it, Ken?
Yeah, definitely been chilly here for the last few days.
Chilly for the last 2 days. But
yeah, we've had a lot of rain. The pond temperature this morning was 10 degrees. That's down from about 15 a couple of days ago.
That's a drop, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's windy, overcast today, and they're calling for more possible thunderstorms and everything tomorrow again.
But weather aside, how is the koi doing for you over there? Hello.
Yeah, so I know. I mean, some people that have them outdoors now, the fish. I mean, are starting to get active, taking a little bit of food.
Yeah.
Mine are all still in the indoor pond.
So how long until you get them outdoors?
I am depending on weather. If we get some warmer days, which they're calling for over the next week, hopefully in a few days I'll get them outside. Right now, the difference between the indoor pond and the outdoor pond, temperature-wise, is about 8-9 degrees, something like that. So still too chilly to be moving them from one to the other.
Yeah. So what's your preferred external temperature then before you think about moving your fish
Generally,
outside?
when it's in around the 18 or so Celsius, somewhere in that range, because I do it for the indoor pond because it's in the basement. The basement's cooler now because no heat or anything on because we've had better days. But I try to match the temperature within a degree or two.
Yeah.
So when it gets to about 65 Fahrenheit, so about 18 Celsius, somewhere in that range, or a little bit less, then I'll start moving them out. And I prefer to move. I'd rather move them from slightly cooler to slightly warmer than the other way around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if it's a degree or two, and I've got a couple of things in mind to maybe move some of them out again in the next few days. Setting up a vat outside, pumping some water from an indoor pond out to the vat to put a few of them in, and then gradually adding water from the outdoor pond to the vat to kind of equalize the temperature.
Yeah.
So I figure over the course of 2 or 3 hours, something like that, because they won't be in a bag; they'll be in a vat with an air pump and everything. Get that temperature within a similar range, then move them into the outdoor pond. And then the next group a few days after that, because I don't move them all out at once.
No.
I mean, pond's been running for almost 4 weeks now. So the water's cleared up, the filters are all going, UVs are going, water's crystal clear.
Oh,
and I've been adding liquid ammonia and some live bacteria to the filters to get them kind of functioning before the fish get moved.
Right. So
I think they're going to be ready to they'll be ready to accept them, but it's still just that temperature fluctuation right now.
Yeah, it's that temperature fluctuation that a lot of people don't actually consider, and then later on bites you in the ass.
Yeah, and I've always, in my entire career kind of thing, I mean, I've been keeping koi for just over 50 years, and I have never overwintered them outside. They've always been indoors.
Yeah, because you do things completely different to our Chris, don't you? Our Chris overwinters is outside.
Yeah, like he overwintered, like his shabunkins and everything he has indoor in the aquarium.
Yes.
But his koi stay outdoor in the ponds. But I've always just preferred to have them indoors because we get some wicked winters, a lot of ice on the ponds. I know this year, like with my pond, I mean, I leave it full all winter, and it was a good 8 inches of solid ice on top of the pond.
Yeah, I know. You have done videos where you've actually walked out into the center of your pond.
And trying to keep an opening in the ice. I know Chris does like an air pump, which seems to work well. But trying to keep that opening in the ice for the oxygen exchange in the winter, if you're using a heater of some kind, cost can be horrendous.
Yeah, definitely.
And indoors, I get to keep an eye on the koi. They still get to eat all winter long. You can check on them and enjoy them, kind of thing. That you can't do that for like 6 months of the year when they're outside.
No, but when they do go out, the sturgeons then breathe a sigh of relief, don't they?
Yeah, they get the whole pond then. Yeah.
Vince, Rocket Boy's in the house. We need to get him up to 1,000 subs. He's only 11 off.
I know. I was talking to him earlier.
Boy, jump on his channel and sub to him. He's 11 off 1,000 subs. Come on, guys.
Yep, definitely. And it will be on tomorrow's video, but there is going to be an entry up for grabs for the Growing Show with a Difference. There is a gentleman that paid for an entry but is no longer able to enter, but has told Rick that he would like to give it away. So watch out for tomorrow's video. I'll be broaching it on there. There'll be a name pull of some description, and then the winner will win the 100 fry that everyone else has got, and a chance and everything else to be part of the Growing Show with a Difference. So watch out for that one.
It'd be good if we can get Rocky Boy to that 1,000 for them. That'd be great.
Oh, mate, it would just be awesome all round, because
He deserves it. He puts the effort in.
He works so bloody hard, you know,
Yeah.
and he's taken stuff on board that other people have said, and you know, you can see the change in his videos, and he does get a bit tongue-tied and a bit shy in front of the camera when he's on his own. So yeah, I think he does bloody well. And also, you know, the amount of work that he actually does, a lot of people forget, you know, the amount of work he does when he's out on that koi farm, and he's 73 years old, you know, and for a 73-year-old man to be going out and doing what he does, you know, it's worth that. Just for that, you know.
He must have had an easy life. He's looking well.
Yeah, I mate. It was all that rock and roll lifestyle, yeah, didn't it? And that's another thing. Our Dave, you know, he's not only been fishing with the stars, as in the fishing celebrities and stuff. He's met Freddie Mercury at Live Aid. He in fact, I've got a copy of his album, and he is still contracted under Sony Music with that album. So yeah, not only is he a top class fisherman, he's also a rock star as well as a damn good koi keeper as well. And I couldn't ask for a better fucking sidekick either, you know, because I love him to death, bless him. So yeah, come on guys, if we can get 11 more subs tonight, that would be absolutely fucking awesome. If not tonight, after his video on Monday evening. So yeah. So Ken, any filter improvements planned for this year?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly yet. I don't know if you saw my sort of most recent video. I did kind of like a DIY solar heater for the pond.
I haven't watched that one yet. No.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it's nothing special kind of thing. I just figured that I would try and use the sun when we finally get it to aid in warming up the pond.
Yeah.
And so far, again, it started, I think, to make a bit of a difference, and then we got into the cold days, so it hasn't done much now.
Yeah.
So that's working on there. Filter wise, I've changed the plumbing setup from what I had last year with the valves and the UVs and everything.
Yeah.
I took all that out at the beginning of the winter. I've rejigged all that now, so I get a much more balanced flow coming into the pond. But the UVs they're functioning well. My 2 upflow filters that I made and the tower and my shower are working well. And I've got the two easy pods running kind of thing, and that's all kind of going very well at the moment. So, you know, I'm always tweaking something.
Yeah.
You know, and the same with the one in the indoor pond kind of thing. I'm always looking to kind of tweak something. So I'm sure I'll come up with something, you know, over the course of the summer.
Yeah, I was just about to come to that with my next question, but let me just answer a question in the comments. Gwen's asking, question, Vince, I've just started treatment for Costia and have been told that I will more than likely get fluke after Costia. Usually it's the other way round. If you treat for flukes 9 times out of 10, you could end up with about a cost year afterwards because of things that happen inside and outside with chemicals and whatnot. But if you treat it right, Costia should be gone within 24 hours if you treat it right. And without knowing your pond measurements water-wise and everything else and what treatment you put in, I can't answer that one for you. But usually you'll find 9 times out of 10, Costia usually comes out prevalent after you've done a fluke treatment. Never usually heard of having flukes after a Costia treatment. Flukes were more likely.
I think it's the flukes that they keep the Costia at bay. I think they actually eat them.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I've always found that it's the other way round on that one. Andrew in the comments. Come on, Dave, tell us where we can hear you play. I tell you what, like I say, I've got it on CD, and if you like old school heavy metal stroke rock, then it's fucking awesome. It really is. It really is. So, Ken, any planned new purchases this year, or?
I've picked up 2 or 3 small koi over the winter from some people that were just kind of sort of downsizing their collection and stuff. Some of them, take them again in small vats inside over the winter months.
Yeah.
So I got and the ones I got. I mean, they're nothing special. I just wanted to add a little bit to the pond. I did lose, I think, about 3 of my big fish this winter. Not sure really what happened. Kind of thing like that. My big female Ochiba, the really friendly one, she passed away. The male Ochiba, my butterfly one, he did as well. And my big Karasagoi, he did also, kind of thing. And I'm still not sure what happened. I mean, everybody else down there is doing well. I know I did have a bit of a pH issue. Like for years, I never really checked the water that much because the fish were doing well.
Yeah.
But I've had like a couple of times a pH crash, and I tested the water like right out of the municipal supply, like the mains water. Yeah. And the pH was running about 6 to 6.5. And it really, because when I do my water top ups every couple of weeks kind of thing, so it made an impact. So I've been using sodium bicarbonate or like baking soda to help get the levels back to around that 7.0 mark. And yeah. I'm also using oyster shell now because I was having some issues with the KH. So I'm using oyster shell as well to kind of get that balance, and that's definitely helped. But I'm not sure. I think it's and up until like this past winter, never had a water issue before. I mean, new pond syndrome in the spring a little bit, a little bit of buildup from ammonia when things first started out, kind of thing. But yeah, this year has been a bit of a challenge chemistry wise for that kind of thing. So I'm testing now every couple of weeks, and then adding the baking soda and that stuff if I need to, just to get it balanced out again. And the fish definitely seem happier.
Do you find 2 seconds? Yes. Email me your phone number, and then as long as you've got Telegram and I add you in, as soon as I add you into my contacts, I can then add you into the group. Do you think that no natural light could be part of the reason why you're getting that unstable pH?
It's possible. I mean, there's windows down there, so if the sun is out, they do get a bit of sunlight on the pond. It's mainly just like an overhead fluorescent bulb, like a daylight bulb. So, I mean, so it's, fairly bright and lights the pond up. And it's on a timer, so it comes on around 8 in the morning and goes off again around 7:38 at night. But as I say, up until, again, this past sort of November, December time frame kind of thing, I'd never had an issue before. And, I do, again, a water change about every 7 to 8 days. I do like a filter clean and a water change of, because the pond itself is about 2,000 gallons, including the filters, like 2,000 US gallons. And when I do a water change, I'm changing between 150 and 200 gallons, so about 10%, roughly every week and a bit as part of the filter cleaning. And that's been the routine I've been doing ever since I built the pond. But it's just this year that I've had the issues.
And late last year, you created yourself a new filter in converting a sand filter. How is that going? And have you made any changes to improve its performance?
No, it's working well. I haven't done anything apart from adding the air blower attachment that I did a few months back. Because when I first did it, it was just relying on sort of water pressure to agitate the media a little bit. And it was, you could tell when it was backwashing, the water was a bit discolored coming out. But when I put the air blower feature on there, and I agitate it now, when you do the backwash, I mean, the water coming out is like a dirty gray color. And it runs that way for a while until it clears up. So having the blower to agitate that media has made a big difference as far as the cleaning capacity. But it's working well. I've got there is a pressure gauge on it. And it basically stays at, zero kind of thing most of the time as the water's flowing through. So there's not a lot of pressure building up. The only time the gauge actually goes up a little bit is if I shut the valve off for my series of barrel filters to do the cleaning for them. When all the water from the pump is going through the pressure filter, then naturally the pressure rises a little bit. But when it's just in sort of normal operation kind of thing, it stays at zero. So there's not a lot of pressure buildup. But it is definitely taking fines and stuff out of the water. There's no question about it because you can see it when you backwash. So, and I let the air go for 5 to 10 minutes just to bubble it, and it literally shakes the entire filter. Kind of, you can hear the media agitating inside it.
So have you done a strip clean of it since you fired it up?
I have not.
That'd be good to see. Just to see
what it's doing. Possibly once I get the koi outside. Because right now, there's a fair volume of fish in that pond. Again, not as much as there was because of the big ones passing away, but there's still a fair volume in there. And I don't want to kind of disturb things too much until they're all outside. Because once everybody's outside, apart from the sturgeon, the fish load will decrease dramatically.
Oh yeah,
so if the filter is kind of taken out of circulation for a day or so while I'm working on it, it's not going to impact the water quality.
No, it's not going to affect the sturgeons either, is it? Because you still got your other filters.
Yeah, the other filters are running, and I find that the big thing that I learned early on for the sturgeon is they require very well oxygenated water, like far more so even than the koi do. You've got to keep the water flowing, pretty dramatically. Like I've got a 7-inch air stone in there, as well as the filter has like moving bed and all that kind of stuff. So it's getting oxygen added to the water. And the return from the filters also agitates the water. So there's lots of oxygen in there, but they definitely need a good oxygen flow because they tend to suffer a kind of thing as compared to what the koi would.
I'm a bit behind on my YouTube catch up. Did you separate the sturgeon off this year?
I started by leaving them to have access to the entire pond. Because they swim around and everything. And again, I'm feeding, like they get sinking food, the koi get floating pellets, as well as mealworms and all that kind of stuff. But you could feed the koi, like I could go feed them now and give them a good feed. 5 minutes from now, put in sinking food for the sturgeon if they were in the same thing, and the koi go and eat sturgeon food.
Yeah.
So I finally thought, screw this. They need to eat kind of thing. So I did put the divider back in. I actually moved it a little bit so they've got a bit more space to swim.
Yeah.
Because the short nosed one, I'll try and get a measurement of him, but he's got to be pushing 30 inches or more now.
I was
Kind
going
of
to
thing.
say, we've known each other a good 4 years now, and
Yeah.
they were a good size when we first started
Yeah.
talking. So
When I got the short nose, he was about the size of the palm of my hand. So he was about sort of from here to here.
yeah,
And like he's got to be about 30 inches now, somewhere in that range, maybe even a little bigger.
yeah, definitely.
But,
It's not just you've got two. Is it 2 or 3 different varieties?
there's a short nose, and I've also got a sterlet. And the sterlet is not quite. It's in the 2 foot plus range kind of thing, so it's not as big as that one. So they both get the same. In addition to sinking food, they get clams, they get mussels, they get shrimp. So they're getting kind of good food as opposed to just like a processed food.
I was expecting oysters to come out there. I was going to say, fuck me, they get fed better than you do, don't they, boy?
Oh, pretty much, yeah. And like I say, the koi they get peas on a regular basis, sort of for the vegetable side of things. I've got dried mealworms, black soldier fly larva, and silkworm pupa.
Yeah.
And they get all of that as well. And
So
occasionally I'll throw some, muscle meat or something in there for them as well. I cut some up and throw that in for them just as another treat.
yeah, I know. Susan was out with the crab sticks earlier on this afternoon, and Betty pretty much takes one go now. So next.
Yeah. Well, and they love they love the food like that. And I'll buy like a bag of frozen shrimp, the kind that you or I would eat kind of thing. I
Yeah.
get like the uncooked kind because obviously in the wild they're eating uncooked stuff. Just let a few of them thaw, cut them into smaller pieces, and chuck it in, and they're like little vacuums. It's gone.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you what, they're the same with cooked rice, peas.
Yeah. The first experience I ever had with rice and the koi was actually when I went to Japan, and again, I was going my first trip there was 1975, so we're going back a long time. And we were visiting some different ponds, and there was one that had 6+ feet deep, crystal clear water. And a fella came out of the house with this big bowl of rice and started chucking it in. I mean, and you could count every grain of rice on that floor. I think it was that clear, and within a matter of minutes, it was gone.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll give that a try. So if I do rice for dinner, or if I'm doing a stir fry or something like that, I always cook extra.
Yep.
And then once it's cooled down a bit, then they get that. And again, it disappears in no time.
Yeah, Susan cooked the rice this week, and she's like, the koi, and I'm like, yes, fucking great bowl of rice, and within minutes it's gone.
Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a big rice eater kind of thing, but I mean, I will, occasionally have some, as I said, a stir fry or something like that, and I always do extra just to make sure that they're going to get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feed little gem lettuces to your pond at all?
I have not. In the past, they've had watermelon.
Yeah.
Because they like that, like the watermelon slices. Occasionally, I will also buy they're like the little tin mandarin oranges, so they're in like the small segments.
Oh right.
So I get those, just drain the liquid off. Usually cut each segment sort of in half, and then chuck those in. I mean, and they'll clean up. I mean, the cans themselves are not huge, but they'll clean up the entire can worth like in one feeding. But yeah, lettuce and stuff. I tried some carrot tops one time, a couple of times, kind of thing, and they did seem to like those. So it's just hard. I don't know about over in the UK, but I know here, generally when we buy carrots in the store, kind of thing, they're sort of clean, like the top's been cut off of them. You just kind of get the carrot, you don't get the greens, kind of thing, for the most part. But I know that the koi will munch on those as well. But I haven't tried because I know I've seen you do like cut an orange in half and put it in the pond. I haven't tried that with the fish yet, but they do love the watermelon.
Mine used to love an orange. Sue, have you anywhere heard of anyone giving cooked lentils? Well, you say that. Peter Waddington, he always used to feed a mix in the in in the winter, and it was basically he'd cook up a pulses mix, basically. So you got your split peas, your lentils, and all that. Cook that up. He'd let it cool down and put barley in there. And for a winter food, you'd actually find they'll get more out of that than they will do wheat germ, without a shadow of a doubt. But then in the summer, he used to add to that. He used to put bits of tuna, chopped up calamari, and all that sort of thing. Mix it in, and it's variety again. Like I say, yeah. Pete came round today, and I showed him my food tub, and there is a mix of about 6 different pellets in there, all ranging in various sizing, all ranging from floating and sinking. And the reason for that is I have a pond that has got 75 plus size fish in there, and there's also fish in there that are 20 plus. So that they don't get out competed for the food, I always feed a high range of sizes as well as types of pellet. So I've got 2 mil floating, I've got 2 mil sinking, and then I've got 6 mil floating, 4.5 mil sinking. Can you see what I mean? And there's about 2 or 3 different brands there as well. So I've got New Forest Koi Farm, I've got Takazumi, and I've also got some of my own secret ingredients that go in there as well. But yeah, would you like to eat the same thing, same size, same look, day in, day out? Mate,
Get a bit boring, wouldn't it?
it drive me nuts. So, Chris,
Yeah.
how are things with you, koi wise?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. The ponds come round fine. All the fish have seemed fine, apart from the 2. So the Black Zeus. The Black Zeus's skin's coming back nicely. But he has got, like, his bones are showing through his dorsal fin on the top. About 3 or 4 bones that are like that. So basically there's no fin there as such, it's just the bones
You
that are
just
coming
got
out.
the wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They've all come out of the Alprex treatment fine. What am I on it says day 8 after the Alprex treatment. Done scrapes, nothing on them. The Sakai Kahaku, it was really weird. I got him out to treat because he had a couple of bad scales.
Yeah.
And then he had this fungal. That was the whole reason for putting the Alprex in. I had this fungal issue going on. So once it had gone through the treatment, I took both of them out. I was having a look. I was cleaning up the area on the Kahaku, and literally as I was washing him down, cleaning him up, there was just scales falling off him, like literally just like wiping him, and literally all the scales felt rough, and they were literally just falling off one after another after another. He must have
if they've
lost about
gone off, they're dead. So
he must have lost about 20 scales, I reckon. Cleaned him up. He's swimming around absolutely fine, to be honest. He's swimming around, he's eating, he's absolutely fine, apart from obviously the mark that's left there now. But the Black Zeus is
did the scale pockets get damaged then on that one?
I think possibly, yeah. There was on the side where the scale pockets, there was actually it was swollen. It looked like it could have been a tumor. But when
Right.
I got him out and cleaned him up, all this if you like, pus or whatever was coming. It was literally
Basically,
oozing out. Cleaned him up, and that hasn't come back. That's all nice and flat. The wound looks clean.
yeah.
He seems to be swimming around absolutely fine. To
See,
be
I've got,
honest.
I've got it on my big Becco. Well, it wasn't actually mine at the time, but on its shoulder, you'll find there's a patch where there isn't any scales.
Yeah,
It's skinned over, but the same sort of thing. The scale pockets themselves were damaged. So of course,
yeah,
what soon as that scale pocket's damaged, it's
it ain't.
never gonna grow back
Yeah,
another scale. So, but
as
the dorsal, if you haven't got any skin growing back over that at all, you are going to end up having to trim them right.
that's what I was thinking. I was watching Perky's video the other week, last week I think it was, when he was telling about him. So obviously I've cleaned him up again this week. But he's the only one. Obviously, he took a bit of a rattle, didn't he? He's just been sort of. He's not been eating. He just sort of sits there about 2 foot below the surface, sort of head down, but just sort
Yeah,
of every now and then he'll swim around and then he'll go back to that same position. He'll just sit there. He's not doing anything, to be fair. So it's yeah, it's a difficult one, really. Just sort of yeah. But the rest of him, the scales and everything have come. They're all like his sides where all the damage was has all come back quite nicely. It's got a bit of PP paste on him at the minute, so he looks a bit purple. But it's
nothing wrong
literally
with
that.
looking purple.
No, but it's that dorsal fin. That's the
Yeah,
bit that I'm more concerned about now. And so
yeah. I mean, I've had to trim pec fin rays before, and I've managed to be able to do that with a pair of nail clippers. But
yeah,
I went out to one friend's and I had to actually trim like yours. I had to trim sort of like 3 or 4 rays across
yeah,
the top where it would damage that much. It was literally just, and yeah, that first ray I ended up having to get a pair of big wire cutters on there
yeah.
to get it
Because
to,
these look like little fingers, just like that. The rest of it's all skin,
yeah.
like nice, and then it's just it's smack bang in the middle. There's like 4 of them like that, just sort of what? Yeah, yeah. It's not nice to see, especially with the black Zeus. They're rare as rocking horse shit now as well. But yeah,
You
yeah.
say that, you know. New Forest Koi Farm have been pumping out Ginrin Kamonrus and Ginrin Matsukao Bakis for 30 years.
Yeah.
You
I've
know?
seen a few
And
nice, real nice.
all of a sudden, just because some top fucking breeder gives him a
Yeah,
funny name, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I must have one of them because of its name.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, I think when I got it, it was like it was emaciated really badly. Like when I got it at 27 cm, it was so skinny, it looked like it was on its last legs. And I've managed to get it to 44, but it's still got that slim body. It hasn't got the Donichi-esque body line. It's a male, but it hasn't got, it's just slim the whole way through. It's not got that body, that typical Donichi shoulders and stuff that you normally get from even the males. But
yeah,
yeah, so to be fair, I've seen some of the ones that Rick does at New Forest, and yeah, they outcompete that thing by country mile. So
yeah.
yeah,
And they're also tailored and used to our water as well.
it's another thing, isn't it?
And unlike
That's the trouble.
a lot of these ones that come back from Japan, I'll say a gentleman I haven't spoken to, I haven't seen him in years, but you know, he had a really big, nice pond. It was enclosed and everything, and he he tried giving me this fish, and he'd gone over to Japan and spent about £3.5, 3.5 grand on a beautiful black and white Matsukao Baki. And within about a month or so of it hitting his pond, it turned black and never fucking changed.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah,
um, the only reason you knew it was in the pond was because it would come up to the surface, and once it breached the surface, you're like, fucking hell, size on that. But
Yeah.
his pond, a bit like Matt Howie Coy, his pond was 8 foot deep.
Yeah, you're never going to see it in that, are you?
So when you look in, you can see the colour. And the only time you notice it is if another fish goes over the top of it, and
Yeah,
you
you
see
get that
this
silhouette.
silhouette underneath it. And yeah, it is my biggest fucking regret. That was he always used to say, yeah, I think it was about 3 weeks he had it in his pond, and it went jet black and never changed again in about 12 years.
Yeah. What I've also done after our last chat is I've upped the speed on the Nexus,
Yep,
so that's now at 80% that pump. Still dropping the bio like literally every night. I have to
yeah,
bubble it up and clean it and then put it back on again. But what I've also done is I've removed the K1, the micro out of the easy, and
yeah,
I've replaced it with K plus. So obviously
yeah,
it needs some time to, because it's brand new. It needs some time to mature and stuff.
yeah.
I put about 18 liters of K plus in there, but it's still dropping. So literally, I do a double clean, drop it, fill the system all back up again, turn the pumps on, and like literally instantly, the bio's down here. It's, it's doing my absolute Sweden. I don't know what's, because it never used to do it when it was pump fed. When it was a pump fed system years ago, it was absolutely fine, that Nexus. But since it's been on gravity fed, I just can't get them levels right.
Did
They're
you
literally constantly.
change anything on it when you went
No,
from pump?
all I did was take that weir pipe out. You know, the pipe in the exit. You got that pipe
Yeah,
for pump fed, and you take that out to turn it into gravity fed. So you just got it just goes down. I
yeah,
took
I think
that.
so.
Yeah, I took that out, and that's it. That's all I did. Bit like with the Easy Pod, you change the pipe that's inside, don't you? You turn it round, put it back in. Instead of
Yeah.
doing that, I took that pipe out completely on the Nexus to run it gravity, and yeah, just yeah, it's
Are you
baffling me.
supposed to take it out completely?
Yeah, yeah. If you look at most people, that's the gravity.
I
That's the
thought they still had a bit of pipe in there. It just wasn't as tall.
No, I think they take it out completely. All the videos I've seen online on YouTube and stuff like that, that's how you convert it to gravity. You basically take that out, and then you've just got uh, uh on the bottom of the Nexus, you've just got your 4 to 2 inch or whatever rubber, and that's it. So the water just flows straight through that. But yeah, yeah, it's baffling me. The only thing I can think of is if so
Even drafty.
I got four I've got four 90 bins on that.
Whereabouts are you based, Chris?
Near Cambridge.
It's fucking that direction. Isn't
Yeah, Saffron Walden, mate. I think I worked it out. It was about nearly 3 hour drive, nearly
it?
3 hour drive
Fucking
down to Twisted
10th
Towers.
direction.
Yeah,
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 no, completely the opposite direction. I
yeah.
might be having a little road trip up north. So if there's anyone up north that wants to visit, you never
Always
know.
welcome. Always
I might
welcome here,
come,
mate.
might come and knock on your door.
Yeah, Saffron Walden,
Something
basically, man.
surprise you.
Always welcome at Mind Twisted, you know that.
I know, bruv. Sounds like something. I know. There's something not right there, is there? Vinny?
Yeah, it's just bugging. Absolutely, yeah, doing my nothing. But on the bright side, I've got nice flow running through the pond at the minute. So
Well, I mean, I've sped my bottom drain up to 100% at the moment, so I'm pulling through the drum 20,000 litres an hour at the moment. You
yeah,
never know, Gwen. You never know.
but I have got the opportunity at the minute. I'm just waiting to hear back from this guy, doing a straight swap for a Filtro combi.
Do it.
He wants to get rid of his
Do it.
Filtro combi and get a Nexus, and I want to. Yeah,
Honestly, and I
if it
know
wasn't
I've built.
if it wasn't because of that issue, because the Nexus is the brilliant filters. If it wasn't because that keeps dropping and I'm having to bubble it up every night, that's
Mate,
200 liters of water every day going down the drain.
uh,
Yeah,
that bubbling up is going to get even worse. The bigger your fish get, the worse that's going to get.
yeah,
Why do you think I gave up in the end and give in and ditch the easy pod off the main pond?
yeah, and do that. Yeah, because I've got 3 fish in there. They're the Shisui 67 now. So I've got 3 fish in there, 65 plus.
Yeah,
And then the rest are 40. I've got 42 fish in there in a minute, which is a little bit much. And
and that'll be why the main reason your Nexus is struggling,
yeah,
because you've
got
hit
too
your
many in there.
limit. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've hit your
got
limit.
got too many in there.
That was exactly how I felt with the last pond, with the easy pods. I mean, I was cleaning 2 easy pods every day, and the bigger they get, the worse that's going to get, So
The thing is, 30 of them range from 30 cm up to 65. Most of them are 45 to 50 cm. The rest of them, there's 3 that are obviously 65 plus, and then the rest of them down are like 12 to 25 cm. So
fucking hell.
yeah,
Hello, Brett. What rocks you been fucking hiding under, sunshine? How are we diddling? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it up as far as Manchester, mate, but we can see. I think they're debating Nutrimare in the comments, so we'll let them.
yeah. I've just come off of the
Christian, why do you
Hikaris.
think a drum will stop your? No, I didn't say it'd stop his water usage. I said it will cut down the amount of times he's got to clean his fucking Nexus.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's doing my din at the minute. Other than that, Nexus is a brilliant filters. Can't knock them. It's just what's going on with this one at the minute. So, yeah.
I haven't. Fucking hell, George. If I get all the way up there, that would be a right fucking mammoth task. Gee, I'd love to, bro. But yeah.
We still have a nosebleed, Cash Birmingham.
About 10 hours, isn't it? Drive to George.
So if you had the option, Craig, would you go back to a Nexus?
Me, no. My Nexus was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was just, I just haven't got the time to keep cleaning, especially with what I got going on. And I know this combi has to be cleaned and stuff, but not nowhere near as much as the. I can leave this for a week. It's only because I'm a bit anal and I want it clean. But the Nexus was brilliant. It really was. It was just.
Hang on.
I dropped out then. I dropped out then. It's because I'm in the shed. I've been in here all afternoon. Yeah, I just ain't got the time to keep cleaning it.
Yeah. And in all honesty, Crafty, I'm using less water now since I had the drum fitted than I ever was with running 2 easy pods and 2 tempests. Especially in the height of the summer, I was cleaning those tempests and those easy pods every day.
I think it works out to about 2.5 to 3,000 litres a week at the minute with all the cleaning that I'm having to use. Obviously, that's just a guesstimate, but like 2 bubbles up, what's that? That's 2, well, it's 2.5, and then you purge it a little bit a couple of times anyway. So that's going to be what, say 2 to 2.5 litres a night. So you times that by 7, it's a lot of water.
Yeah, hang on. Crafty's
650 litres. I used to bubble the 320 3 times, and it was 660 litres that you take.
Yeah.
This combi's not doing that. Well, it's clean, but it's not pulling much water through, to be fair.
Yeah.
well, no,
Yeah, 'cause
because
I was looking at the Smile. They do the red label Smile, don't they? Slightly lower
That's what
one.
I've got, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, this is it. This is a Smile, the one I got.
Oh, is it the Joy? The Joy's the smaller
The
one,
Joy.
the lower one, isn't it?
I think the Joy's the one the Rasta Coy's got, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
could've
catch
got
up
away
with
with that,
Crafty's fishing things.
I could have got away with the Joy, I would have thought, but I thought, you know what? You can't be over-filtered, can you?
No.
Well, no. Would you ever consider a drum camp?
I probably would if I had. I mean, the big thing here is, well, 2 things. Obviously, price and availability. I know there's one. There's a dealer that's about an hour drive or so north of where I am. It's like they sell some koi and some stuff like that. And on their website, they have the small Lawasi drum filter. I'm not
Yep.
sure what model it is, but they have that one. But it's approximately $6,000 Canadian, and I'm not sure what that equates. That's what, 4,500 UK pounds, something like that. And that's a small version. And I think
That's a
there's
lot of that's
couple dealers in the States that sell the drum filters, or some of them.
Yeah.
But again, it's like with our dollar exchange rate between the 2 countries, plus the shipping, and then it comes down to like availability of parts, if there's any malfunction or anything like that.
Yeah.
Cost is just prohibitive for, I mean, for me, I wouldn't even mind like a Nexus, again, if I had kind of the budget for it, because even like a 320 would fit in my filter pit. I'd have to move some of the other stuff, but it would fit in there.
Yeah.
But with having the 2 easy pods, the way I've got them set up now, and then feeding my upflow filters and everything, kind of thing, I mean, they work well.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if I had the money and could get a decent drum filter or a combi unit of some kind, I would probably do that. Because I watch a lot of videos from the UK. I mean, most of the koi ones I watch are from the UK, and so many people now are kind of ditching the Nexus and going to the various drum filters.
Yes.
And there's some amazing filters over there. But again, I mean, where you can kind of drive down the street to your local dealer and pick one up, kind of thing. I mean, here it's cost wise and availability. That's a big thing. And most people that I have talked to here that have koi, you mentioned a drum filter, and they immediately think of like a barrel with media in it. Like they have no idea what a drum filter is. Thing. So I mean, and there's a lot of koi keepers here, or so-called koi keepers that have reasonable sized ponds that still go with pressure, like the pressure filters.
Yeah.
Some will use the Awasi. I mean, Awasi makes a couple of really good ones. There's some of the flow-through filters Awasi makes. It's like I've got one I use in my quarantine tank.
Yes.
But which is a good filter for it. But most of a lot of the ones and a lot of the different dealers, like Vandermeer, where Chris does his Shabunkins and stuff from, they do sell Nexus and Easy Pods, but that's maybe one a year that gets sold out of there, because most of the clientele will go for the pressure filters.
Right. So you could get a Nexus then if you wanted to.
Yeah, and again, price wise, the 320, I think, is around $4,000, something like that, for them. And I know they do have the sieve filters, or sieve, whatever you call them, both the gravity fed and the pump fed ones.
Oh, yeah, the Cetus sieve.
The Cetus ones, yeah, and they're between 1,500 and 2,000 for one of those.
I tell you what, though, those Cetus sieves, they're a fucking big unit, though.
They
For
are.
what they
Yeah,
are.
they are big. If you look back on my earlier videos, I had one.
Yeah, and to run them right with a Nexus, the money you've got to spend out on balance pipe kits and all this sort of crap, it's just, it starts to snowball then. But going back to a drum, so if you had the choice and you got yourself a combi drum, where would you put it? Would you put it out on your outside pond, or would you put it on your inside pond?
I think it would go on the outside one. Because again, with the because the filter pit that I've got, it's roughly 7 feet by 7 feet by about 4 feet deep, and that's, again, that accommodates my easy pods and my pump one and biomedia and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a gravity fed system, so the filters obviously had to be sort of pond level in order to get the water flowing through to them. Whereas the indoor pond, because it's just like it's an above ground pond, basically. It's sitting on a concrete floor.
Yeah.
So and I didn't put a drain or anything on that. So that's like a pump fed system down there. But again, it comes down to space. Like I'm not in a terribly large house. It's about, it's a, what they call semi-detached. It's two stories. And I think sort of the square footage living wise is about 1,000 square feet. And then that's not sort of counting the basement, so it's not huge. But my indoor pond, plus the filters, takes up about 80% of the basement. The other part is where my furnace is, like the hot water heater and the washer dryer, that kind of thing. Pretty much everything else is
15% of the basement.
About 80% or so is fish. Yeah, and it's because the indoor pond is it's 8 feet by 10 feet, 4 feet deep. Yeah. So sorry, just got to step away for a call for a minute. I'll be right back.
No worries.
Yeah.
I love seeing how other people do it around the globe. I really do. So, you got any new additions you're planning this year, Craig?
I did. They did like the ECG, an ultrasound.
Hello, Craig.
And the stress test.
No, it looks like Craig's gone. Chris,
they did an intravenous thing, like
have you got any purchases planned this year?
No more new additions, mate. No fishing. A few fish out. That's the only thing I'm going to do. Is I've got about 8 fish I want to move on. And then that's it. Nothing in until next year.
So, are you going to any of the shows this year?
Yeah, I'm going to go to. I'm going to try and get over to the National, and the Great British. So we'll see where we're at there. I did want to show this year, but I'll probably not now. I was going to start off with one of the smaller shows, like the junior show up north, or is it Crouch Valley? Is it Crouch Valley? The one the one down in Kent, wherever that one is, the All England.
Yeah.
I was going to start with them first, and then sort of work my way around. But,
all right.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go to them. I've never been to a show, so yeah.
And you're going to go to a show this year, and you're not going to buy any fish.
I'm not going to buy any fish. Dry goods. Dry goods.
No fucking way. there's more chance
Words.
of Mark Oxo not buying fish than you not buying a fish.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be trying. Well, I'm going to try and be strict. To be fair, I was bidding the other night on
Well, there you
Gaz's.
go. You just answered your own fucking question. You're telling fucking lies, live on camera. Shame on you.
Oh, I'm going to try my hardest. So yeah, no, and I need to get rid of these ones. I've got 8 I
Well,
want to get rid
obviously,
of.
your hardest isn't fucking working very well, is it?
Yeah, there was a nice Yusui though. There was a nice Yusui from New Forest Koi. He was auctioning off on Gaz's.
Mate, I know it is. But I tell you what, the amount of Hiyatsuji fry that have hatched from that Hiyatsuji spawning, mate, is unreal. Absolutely unreal. To the point, in hatchery 1, the 2 ponds at the end, right at the end, they've got wheelie bin folders. There are that many fucking fly in that Hiyatsuji pond. I had to retrofit multi-bay filters to that wheelie bin once they get big enough, because there is that many keepable fry from that Hiyatsuji spawning. It's unreal. And like I said, there's only so many he can put outside.
Yeah.
And with the way they're looking, he's not going to just ditch the rest. So yeah, I spent all day Friday putting multi-bay filters on hatchery ponds in hatchery 1. So in both hatchery ponds now, there is only 1 pond that hasn't got a fish for, and I'll do that Monday. And I know he's out of traffic. They went in a treat. The only thing is, there was only enough media to get 5 running. So, where's the other 7's media? Send it down, you shit bag. But no, I tell you what, I was stripped down to t-shirt was off, my trouser legs were rolled up. Fucking sweat was. Well, I swear I lost a kilo in weight yesterday in that polytunnel, and the sun wasn't even out. That was the mad thing.
Goes to show you how hot any polytunnels can get.
Mate, honestly, they
I like that new little modification you've done on your drum.
Oh mate, it's game changer.
Yeah.
No way settlement. No, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Just that little modification. Yeah.
A lot of people suffer with that, don't they?
Well, I was suffering, but not now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea.
I was conscious of the dwell time on the media as well, because I was trying to turn the pumps up to blow the muck up.
Yeah.
But now I've put that modification on, I've been able to turn the pumps down to give it more dwell time, and all the muck's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, it's good.
Whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing, I don't know, but it's working for me, so.
Mate, Rick is that happy with the fry, he's actually calling it the Oxo Hiyatsuji line. And I'll tell you what.
Now them ozone generators, you don't hear much of them now, do you?
Well, those little ones, no. Oh.
seem to have died a death, don't they? Nobody mentions them, or I don't even know if anybody uses them now.
I know Jim's still got one going from It's What I Do.
He's asking the question.
No, I fucked mine off. You know, it killed all my buyer and my Easy Pod, so I fucked it off. Oh, good job I didn't pay for the fucker as well. But I am waiting for a new auto feeder to arrive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a screw feeder.
Bit
And you
like
can
the
run it.
P7000.
No, you can run it using one of these. Yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah. I was looking for. I was actually starting. I started off looking at aquarium auto feeders for the fry, and then I stumbled across this one, and I was like, "Ooh, ooh!" It has an app and everything, so if I see they're getting hungry from my camera, then I can just move the app and go, "Doop." Hey, watch this space. You actually will turn up, we'll set it up, and it'll be absolute shit. But
Yeah, I got
if it turns out it's shit, then it'll be shit. But if not, it'll be the best £30 I've ever spent.
We'll watch
I've got a
you launch
question.
self-defense.
Well, you know the auto feeders that the guys started using down at the farm, black ones. You can pick them up for about 80 or 90 quid. Made by a company called iLonda. And it's made by the same company.
Stands a chance it's going to be okay then.
Yeah. I don't know how to put links on the screen, so everyone else is going to have to wait. But I'll tell you what I can do, Sky. I can do that. There you go. I've just sent you the link. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, Ken's still on the phone, so we can't end the show while Ken's not here. So I haven't used my auto feeder for a while. I'm 60. I'm not tech savvy at all. So I'm not tech savvy. I'm slowly but surely getting there. I mean, I'm even giving people advice on how to do YouTube and stuff on computers. I don't even own a computer.
I've got a question for you. I've never used Alprex before.
Neither do I, so.
I was gonna
Business on that one, doesn't it?
I was going to say, how long does it take for the water to stop being green?
I don't know.
3 months. No, I don't know. It does take a while, apparently. Yeah. I don't know how long it takes.
I've never used that.
Davy Boy's obsessed with that Alprex. He loves it.
Oh yeah, he loves it. Our Davy Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the first time I've used it, and but yeah, the water's it's not luminescent green now, but it's got that green tinge in it now. So
it takes a while, I believe. I don't know how long, but it does take a while.
Yeah, you want to get hold of Davy, Country Cobra.
Yeah.
He'll be able to give you the lowdown. Did you have a look at that? Did you, Craig?
Yeah, it looks. I'm not too sure about the Coke bottle, but yeah, it looks okay. Yeah.
Well, What I liked about it is it says in the instructions that it will take powder as well as flake and pellet. So absolutely perfect for what I need. Because stage 2 and stage 3 drum is very powdery in consistency. Oh, Crafty said colour will stay in for about 2 weeks, but the treatment is done in 24 hours.
Yeah. It's clear. It's just got that green tinge to it. Yeah.
That
It's not. It doesn't bother me.
Evening, Mick. Oh, Ken's back.
Yeah, just my son checking up on me. I had an appointment with my cardiologist there on Tuesdays. He was just checking up to see how things went.
Everything all good, I hope.
Yeah, it was. I'd had a heart attack actually in 2007, and so I get checked every year. But things are considering I'm an old guy, things are doing reasonably well.
Good.
Yeah, I was kind of chuckling there when you said Dave was 73 because I beat him by 2 years already. So 'cause I hit 70, I hit 75 this year, but I'm still above ground.
I tell Dave he's almost 80.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's days I feel a lot older than that.
Crafty saying that detox will strip the dye out rapidly. Have you posted my bag yet, Crafty? So, off 1, 2, 3, saying my hubby has had 2 heart attacks and is in hospital now for a mild stroke. He's 63. Well, thoughts go out to him and you. Make sure you look after him. Right. On that note. Well, yeah. On that note, now that Ken's back, I didn't want to end the show without you being on screen because you started with our Ken. So unless there is anyone out there that got questions for anyone on the panel, I will say thank you very much, everyone, for
Just a reminder, Vince. Just a reminder. Jump across to Rocket Boy and give him a sub if you haven't already subbed. He's only 11 off 1,000. Come on, guys.
Yes. Big shout. So all the numbers are starting to drop off as I start to say goodbye. Yeah, go blurry. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Rocket Boy needs your subscription. Let's get him to 1,000. A massive thank you to Chris from Grand Family Koi Adventures. Oh yes, I got it right for one. Get in. A big thank you to my man Scragster 68 down there, aka the Scragster. Massive shout to my man Ken for my third session. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Twisted Koi. You are out there, you know you're great, and we'll see you tomorrow with a Sunday video. Good night, guys.
Good
See you
night.
later, guys. See you later. Take care, Ken.
Ken, don't run it.